Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Before we sow a seed on the ground, we have to make it cultivable. The land has to be plowed, made it loose. Then we add fertilizer or manure, water. And then when we sow the seed and properly nurture it, after some time the seed breaks and the seedling comes, then a plant, then the fruit. Suppose we just throw, it might grow, but it will die immediately. So sufficient preparation has to be done. Initiation is something like we are sowing the seed. So unless we make it receptive, it will just become a ritual, that's all. First we should know, Papa used to say, we should have the right concept of God. There are many who are doing sadhana, Papa says. They do not know why they are doing it. Their conception of God is very limited and narrow. They must have, in the first place, a right conception of God before they try to attain Him. They take Him as an individual, as a person only, who lives in so many places. They adore Him, take His name, do puja to His image. What is the benefit? By the power of faith they may get something, but God realization cannot be had that way. You must realize Him as pervading the entire universe and beyond. For that you must dissolve your ego sense in the vast, infinite consciousness of the divine. Then you feel like a bird released from the cage, happy, cheerful. So we are now taking the initiation of God's name. We should have the right concept, So one of the methods Papa suggests is to go to our source. Normally we feel we have come because of our parents. But they are only the instrumental cause. Because they also have parents. They also have parents. So who is the first cause? Through Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, I am the eternal seed. I am the eternal seed in all beings and creatures. So we will now intellectually accept, that God is our seed, origin. We have forgotten. We start everything while dealing with men and matters. We start everything from the me and mine level. This me and mine level came only later. When I was in the form of a seed in my mother's womb, this me and mine was not there. When I grew in her womb for 9.5 months, this me and mine was not there. When I came out with nothing, this me and mine was not there. So this me and mine came only later. But we start thinking only from the me and mine level. We have not gone to our original source. To remember that source, we are taking this Ram now. Is it clear? And then he will say that the same source is for everybody. So that is why he used to say that we should know that we are taking the name of one who is within me, and because of him the I exist. So now you are looking at me, the power by which you are looking at me, the power with which you are hearing, The power with which you know you are sitting, the power which makes you feel you are, the beingness. That power, whose name we have forgotten. Whenever we deal with anything, we don't think about it. So there should be a link between me and that power, and that is this Nama. So this is how we develop the right concept. So Papa used to say, Nama is the link between us and him. To remember him, to remember him, to remember him. At the moment we have completely forgotten. Unknowingly, unwittingly, not that we want to forget. This aspect has not been given to us or touched. So today when you said initiation, God has awakened and kindled in you the desire to know all these things and to hold on to His remembrance through chanting of the name. It is by His grace. It is not that we planned. He will say that at the appropriate time, He will give the prompting to make you come all the way here and then sit. Now this is the beginning. Now when we take the mantra, any mantra is alright, here Ram mantra, okay. When we take the mantra, we have been asked to develop these thoughts in us to ensure that it doesn't become a lip level, mechanical, superficial exercise. Otherwise it will slip into that unknowingly. So we must keep on remembering Him behind everything. So there are 3 types of chanting. First vocal, then silent, then mental. Vocal, we'll tell later. Silent, the sound will not come, lip and tongue will move. In mental chanting, sound will not come, lip and tongue will not move, but you will chant mentally. That is how the progress comes. And when we train that, it doesn't have to be limited to a particular time in a day. Any time, any place, even the period ever so small. This is how we train our mind. With this background, we will now hear Papa's words, and then he will talk to us about the sweetness of the name. At the end of it, he will lovingly ask us to repeat. And he will say Om, then we say Om. Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. What is more important is, you should know that you are sitting before him. The photo is there. And he is giving you the mantra directly. Any mantra that when we chant with faith and devotion, it has got its own power. But the same mantra, when it is given to us by a realized soul, it has got an added power. Because he gives to us from the level of his experience, not from the level of knowledge. So that is why we said we should know that he is giving us. Though he dropped the body, he is giving to us through a taped message. But all the same, we should know he is giving us directly. Then only the impact will be there. So, when he gave this talk and mantra, that was about more than 60 years ago, it may not be very clear. So that is why the entire thing has been put on PPT, PowerPoint presentation. And his voice you will get. Both can go together. So you can dwell on, hear his voice and read the message. So that entirely go through the whole thing knowingly, without any distraction. Okay? Yes.
Musically wise, but he repeated as he was repeating during the time when he was longing to know God, to realize God. But even then he can tell you this much, from the very time he started repeating the name, he began to feel the sweetness of it. So he used to pray to God, he does not want anything else, only he wants your name. No, he doesn't want to see you, let your name be ever in this time. It's because he found the soul is sweet, sweet. And so it proved to be not a means to an end, but an end in itself. This is the wonder about that name speaking, because it depends upon the repeater of God and not merely. Because unless we are free from the low passions of the heart, we cannot find the sweetness of the name. You see, sugar is sweet. By nature it's sweet. It can never be bitter. So name is by nature sweet. It can never be bitter. But when this sugar, sweet sugar, is put in the mouth of a man who is having some kind of fever, he finds the taste not sweet but bitter. He throws it away. That shows, you see, the man is deceived. This sugar is sweet. So when we are deceived with the low desires, the name does not taste sweet to us. So we must go to a doctor who can cure us of that disease. Doctor is the Guru, who by his presence removes our disease of desires and gives this nectar name, and we find that instant, you see, it is sweet, and the sweetness continues as long as you are going on repeating the name until at last you become sweetness itself. Not mere the taste of the sweetness, but the sweetness itself. And so you drink and drink and drink the name until the drinker and the drink become one. Let's chant in the mantra given to him by the Guru, word after word. Will you kindly join him? For that you are individually doing, you can go on doing this. For the present occasion, we shall always repeat around now and enjoy the bliss of it.
Is it?
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
3 times you should repeat. Om
Om
Shri Ram,
Shri Ram,
Jai Ram,
Jai Ram,
Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Now, one more suggestion is there. Now that we have been initiated, in order to ensure that it becomes part of our daily life, just like when we get up in the morning, we take the brush, we go to the bathroom, we have a cup of tea, we have a bath, automatically it goes on. Similarly, this nama also get ingrained in our this thing. So what do? So initially we make a sankalpa, we make a resolve that I will do this much minimum a day. Say, we used to say mala. One mala means rosary. One rosary means 100, that is. So you say, it can be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever you feel like. But it should be minimum. It should never be stopped. You can increase anything. So suppose I have a sankalpa that I will do 2 malas a day. The 2 malas must be must. It must be there every day. It can go up to 10 or 15 or 20 or 100. But these 2 I should not compromise. So that every day when I am busy with so many work, I have not done my nama. Immediately I do that. By doing it slowly, I get habituated to it and it becomes a part of me. Then there is no need for mala. It is only a prop, something to suggest. So that sankalpa we should have. Another important thing, when you are chanting, you are trying to remember him with this background. But nobody will be able to chant throughout the waking state. Because you have got family, profession, society, so many things, So how do we ensure remembrance during the non-chanting time? This is very important. What we do during the non-chanting time matters much, even while chanting, because then only the concentration will be there. So Papa says, your outer activities should be compatible with inner aspiration. Whether you are doing household work, whether you are in the field of profession, whether you are with your friends, somewhere in the corner of the mind you should know. We should keep on reminding. And how do we do that? By having a touch of love, by having a touch of perfection, by having a touch of dedication, by having a touch of gratitude. How do we get that? We just know that when we came to this world, we brought nothing. Whatever is basically needed for us, whatever that makes our life comfortable, both are given to us by Him through Mother Nature and society. He is providing the air to breathe. I have not brought it. He has provided the earth to exist. He has provided the space to move about. He has provided the sun, rains, metals, minerals, gases, trees, vegetables, fruits, pulses. Think. We have not done anything. Similarly, whatever creature comfort that makes our life comfortable, including the dress, including the chair, including the building, including the light, including the TV, including all these gadgets, including eatables, including the language, we have not done anything. So not only that He gave us life, He is providing us what is needed for our basic existence, what is needed for our comfortable living. He keeps on prompting His chosen instruments to bring out all these creature comforts. We are all enjoying it. We hardly look at the origin. Just like we are looking at our origin to remember the name, we have to look at the origin of everything to develop this gratitude. So during the non-chanting time, we have to try to keep up this. Otherwise the me and mine will come and occupy. And then a stage, this nama itself will take us to a stage where whenever we fail or forget to bring the God dimension while we are at work, at home, in the office, with friends, this nama will pull you up. Hey, what did you think? What did you talk? What did you do? So nama is very, very important for that. It is the safest guide. Whenever I go this way or that way, nama will immediately pull me out. And when the stage comes, when the mind becomes receptive, the same Nama will help us to go within and to feel His nearness first, then His presence. By chanting, we are trying to feel the nearness. He is there within us, He is there within us, He is there within us. Then slowly one day, He will make us aware of His presence by arresting all thoughts with the help of this mantra. And the mantra also will stop and will make us to get a glimpse of His presence in the form of experience. This is called meditation. So these are the three things which Papa gives us. Triune path to remember Him. Nam, Seva, Dhyan. Of these three, Nam is important. He also says, so in other words, chanting is the password to connect the divine within. Just like password to enter. Japa, Papa says, Japa means constant repetition of God's name. The chief condition necessary for Japa Yoga is keen aspiration to know and realize God. Given this, the person who is on the spiritual path will go on taking His name with all love and joy. By so doing, he will thoroughly purify his mind, make it transparent, so that God within him may shine forth and absorb him into His all-pervading, all-transcendent being of splendor, peace, power, wisdom. So a keen aspiration to realize God is the only necessary condition. When we keep on chanting, we should be careful, or we should keep on reminding us that we are chanting the name of one who is within me and who is making me to chant. How do we know that He is making us to chant? We think we are chanting, So here also He says, you go to the source. The heart beats not because of us. Breathing goes not because of us. Digestion takes place not because of us. Blood circulation takes place not because of us. So we now slowly try to recognize that there is a power. If that power is not there, I am not there. All these functions are there because there is life there. So Papa says, life is the expression of God, whose name we are chanting. So that is why he said you are chanting, because he is making you to chant. He is making us to see. He is making us to hear. He is making us to smell. He is making us to taste. He is making us to think. That stage we should reach. He is behind. So first he says, you should know that you are chanting the name of one who is within you, who is making you to chant. So he is the life. And along, not only life, he is awareness, consciousness. When you are looking at me, you know that you are looking at me. That knowing principle. No, you know that you are sitting. Knowing principle. at 12 o'clock midnight, new moon day, when there is pitch dark everywhere, you need a light to see anything else, is it not? But do you need a light to know that you are sitting? No. There is an inner light. That light is called consciousness. So God is there in the form of life force. God is there in the form of awareness or consciousness. And behind every creature comfort, there is an intelligence. Now when we are talking to you in English, remember when there was no language, he made somebody to think about A to Z, A to Z alphabets, conjugation of verb, grammar, idioms, phrases. When there is no such thing, when something is there, we can develop. The first primordial intelligence. So we try to understand God as life force, intelligence, awareness. He is not merely that. These are all the stepping stones. Then we will find He is there everywhere. He is love, He is compassion, He is creativity. Anything that he is the one who has brought the physical law, spiritual law. Now when we put this, it's, there's a law there, gravitation. When you light a lamp, it goes up, whereas this comes down. For everything there is a physical law. The earth moves. All the stars and planets are there. They don't collide each other. So there is a power to sustain them. So we start thinking about it. Different types of trees, different types of fruits, different types of vegetables, different types of human beings. Behind that who? So we as much as possible we should try to develop this right concept of God. So that whose name we are chanting. To remember Him we are chanting. This will be, otherwise it becomes just a ritual.
I got the habit of writing Sri Rama. Can I speak it loud?
Yeah.
For a long time in a book. Now we are going to chant Sri Rama Jai Rama. And I do the mala as well, Rudraksha mala. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. That's what I go. So I know I've been habituated for a few years. Is it okay to carry on, or shall I have to change?
You don't have to change.
That's what
That's why he said for the time being you take this.
Okay.
Those who are practicing the other name, same background you should have.
Yes. When you say, I was telling you, Swamiji, Shantivanam, I do heartful meditation.
Go, stick on to one nama.
No, only meditation. I don't do anything. There was no mantras, nothing. But when I do heartful meditation, as you said, you had to embed somebody in your heart and then do the meditation. That's what it is. The source light is there within us. The light is Rama. That's what I used to think. And still, is it okay to carry on like that?
Light is Rama.
That's what it is. That's what they say.
Rama, and later on, Rama stands for not an individual, not an entity, but power.
Yes. They, even heartfulness meditation, they won't say that you had to have only one person. You can choose any God, whoever you believe, then you embed him in your heart, then meditate. That's what they...
Initially, if you were comfortable initially with a form, then you should know you have to go beyond the form. Then only it becomes truthful.
Thank you, sir.
Papa was concentrating on the Nirguna Nirakara Shashvatananda Swarupa.
I haven't reached we haven't reached it. I should
Mataji
say
also defines like that.
Yeah.
Nirguna Nirakara. In fact, it was Mataji who gave us these words.
Okay.
She will say, who is Papa? I will read out that.
I mean, since I am become an adult, Swamiji, I always used to believe cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleanliness is to next to godliness.
Right.
And Manava Seve, Madhava Seva.
Seva.
These are the two
Yeah.
principles I've been
Because
believing for a long time.
Yeah. First, there are two methods. First, we try to understand the source of everything, and then to realize that He is there in everything, and then what comes out of us will be nothing but love and service for all.
Yeah.
If that is not possible for us to start, we can go in the reverse way also, along with chanting.
Sure.
In Britain, in good old days, in Wayanad, when we were there, morning at times the jeep will not work, so normally you have to start the engine and move the vehicle. When that is not possible, you move the vehicle and get it started.
Yes.
Put it in second gear and have jerk and then it gets started. So similarly, we have to realize that He is there in everybody, and then we cannot but love and we cannot but serve. But when that is difficult for us, the otherness is still there. We try to love and serve all with the feeling that others, and then slowly try, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I saw some commonness. The risk is there that I should not own, no? I love them and serve them, then later on I will realize that the field is provided by Him, prompting is given by Him, wherewithal is given by Him. So that the pride will not come.
Yeah.
Somebody comes at your doorstep and says, I have not eaten for 3 days. He looks emaciated. Immediately you will rush up to the kitchen, bring whatever you have, you give it. And he looks at you. You will never forget his.
Yes.
Then others may see and say, oh, you are very compassionate. Then immediately you will know you are not compassionate. God gave you an opportunity to know what compassion is.
Yeah.
Until and unless at that time you have not had an experience. He could have gone to somebody else's house. But the field is not provided by us. So He came here, and number one. Number two, He gave you the prompting. Suppose you are going to the office or some other appointment, or to the railway station, or to the airport. You will say, give him something, then you will go. No. On that day, He saw to it that you have got sufficient time to attend. And something should be there. Suppose you are only cooking for 1 or 2 people, and that is over. When He comes, what will you do? But on that day, He saw to it that there is something extra there. So He gave us the field, He gave us the prompting, He gave us the wherewithal. So how can we arrogate that we have done anything? This way we have to keep on doing it.
Actually, Swamiji, I do have a question.
She has a question.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
6 years ago, six
Yes.
or 7 years ago, I was initiated to a mantra with Sri M.
Sri M. Gita, she has taken initiation around 6 to 7 years back.
6, 7 years back.
Yeah. Is it, I don't know. It's...
Normally, Papa would not encourage anybody to take initiation from so many people. Because if you want to dig a well, you must dig in a particular place.
Exactly.
For some time you dig here, leave it. You dig there, dig it. You will not get water.
I know.
So we must concentrate with faith and devotion.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I understand.
You can stick on to the same mantra, what M gave you. You can stick on to the same mantra, nothing wrong in it.
It was in a group. He made it in a whole group of people.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Many people.
Okay. Then you take it. Now hold on to it. That is enough for the time being. You can go on. We pray for Papa's blessings to bless us with constant remembrance through chanting. And during the non-chanting time, kindly make us to remember you with a touch of love, touch of perfection, touch of gratitude, touch of dedication. And finally, you must enable us to make us aware of your presence. Hari Om.